how can you discipline and how can you correct and how can you see violations if in the first place there's no law to discipline them? They did not put that in place. There are no parameters for it. So immediately, they show the First Amendment, and that's it.
But I think we haven't even seen the First Amendment. There's a lot of strange thing going on here. Like they say, all the controversies surrounding the ABS-CBN franchise. There's only one controversy here. Yes. The president, Rodrigo Duterte, hates them like anything.
Exactly.
And that's the bottom line. The SEC said there's no violation. The NTC said there's no violation.
The BIR.
The BIR said there's no violation.
But I think not only the president hates them. I don't hate them, but many other politicians, suffered from that. And not only, that's why I was talking of Tacloban, because it's Taclobanons. It's people who were on the ground that got hurt, because of that. So it's not all politicians. Because, they expect a lot from a news network, to bring out all this. Kasi ang sigaw mo, aabot lang yan ng mga 100 yards. Ang sigaw ng network, aabot yan sa buong mundo. So the people responsible there, the authorities, would know what to do immediately. If you're a true, honest-to-goodness public servant, you want to help the people. But that's the problem.
Now, go ahead.
Well, that's a strong case for ABS-CBN to continue its operation so that whatever limitations it may have, it would be able to correct it. Because if you close down the radio and TV components of ABS-CBN, how can it rectify whatever errors there may be?
You killed the patient, you didn't cure it.
Exactly, you don't cure it. And in the context, again, of self-regulation, and in the context of media literacy, we should allow for multiplicity of sources. If ever ABS-CBN would not want to correct its ways, then it would fade into irrelevance.
Yeah, Alfred, you were a former congressman. I've written about this issue about regulation. I said self-regulation, and I will call it the KBP, kapisanan ng mga broadcasters sa Pilipinas. Ferdinand Marcos said, okay, I'll compromise. I won't control you, but you have to control yourself. So the KBP was set up. Unfortunately, through the years, KBP has basically dissolved or been diluted to almost non-existent. And you're saying, so what do we do now? Because this shouldn't have reached this point where it becomes personal between you and a candidate that is supported by a network, or between you and an organization that is part of a network, blah, blah, blah. It's supposed to be regulated. Now, being a former congressman, is there a better solution?
We tackled that issue, I remember. In fact, congressmen, we flew to London at that time, and we were discussing and seeing how they, address these issues. And they said that, the networks all got together. And then they started now to put down the standards of professionalism, etiquettes, what to practice. And they all agreed if one, let's say, newscaster is fired from one network, he cannot work in any other network in the country.
For a major violation.
Yes.
Okay.
And because they really emphasize also that they would profit from this if they had credibility, if they felt the public was, learning from something that they were doing, and there were benefits that the public would get, and so that's why it was so important for them to police themselves and to standardize,